Hello, lovelies. Hello, my dear friends. We meet again. Welcome to Lanmou Spiritual. I took a little bit of a time off with everything going on in the world and all the changes that, just like you guys, I'm also experiencing. I needed to really ground myself and recenter myself and release the fear and anxiety and to remain grounded and also to prepare. Okay, and that's what I advise you guys. This is for the third week of March, and really this is your career financial reading for March. And I know some of you don't even want to think about finances right now during this time. So for this reading here, Aries, this is for you. No matter where Aries may be in your chart, and if you feel compelled to watch this reading, there's a message in there for you. And we're asking, what do you need to know? Okay, and we're going to ask the same question for every sign, because during this time I feel like everyone is pretty much, I mean, for the most part, we're all on the same boat. So what do you need to know, Aries, during this time? What do you need to know during March about your finances, your career? Okay, we have our first card here. We have the Three of Swords, setting your course. Setting your course. There's a sense here. We are looking in the far future here, okay? We see that rainbow. We are setting our course, but we're not there yet. Okay, we're not there yet. We are on our way. We are going through some changes. We can see the rainbow. We can see the blue sky, telling us there's been a storm, right? Whenever we see the rainbow, we know there was a storm, so the sky is clearing out. But it seems like it's in the distant future here, or for some of you it may be the near future, but distant is coming up here, okay? And you're looking in the long view. You have to take the long view in regards to your finances, Aries, and to set a course of action, okay, to prepare. Here we have Six of Forces. This is like earthly energy, okay? Our power, our abilities, what's available to us. We have the waterfall, and with the waterfall here, waterfalls are very powerful, and especially with this one and the six is the number of harmony, finding balance. It's almost kind of like, just like I studied this reading for you, Aries, and I'm in Aries. You guys know Sun, Moon, and Rise. I mean, Sun, Mars and Venus. There's a sense here I felt like I needed to really ground myself into and to really prepare for what may come. So I feel like for some of you, Aries, you've been doing the same, and Spirit is encouraging you to do the same. With Six of Forces is to find some kind of a balance in regards to your resources, in regards to what you have available at hand, and also your own abilities, your own skill set. Okay, and with the waterfall, there's also a sense here of learning to go with the flow, okay, to the flow, and learning to brace the forces of this earth, things that we cannot control. The waterfalls, or if you've ever been close to one, it looks very peaceful in the distance, it looks so pretty in the distance, but the water is coming. There's a lot of water coming at once. It's very forceful, it's very powerful. Okay, so there's a sense here, there are certain things, there's certain flow of events, there are certain things that we cannot control, that are outside of our control, and we have to learn to find a balance in that, in that. Okay, we have to find a way to adapt to the changing environment. All right, we're gonna take one more for you, Aries. One more card, and we can look at this here as past, present, future at the same time. Something happened here in the past. There was a new course of action that was set in motion, right? And there's some kind of travel. There was a bit of a departure. There was a change, if you will, that happened with that Three of Swords. For some of you, that was communicated to you. For some of you, it was kind of like due to movement, to changes, to travel. That's how you experience that change, that new course of action. Okay, and oh, there we go, you got two more, Aries. And right now, during this present moment, look, we have the Five of Forces that just came out here. Summer, winter. We just left winter. We are right now just entering the spring season, and it was clearly during the winter season that, you know, we all experienced the outbreak and the pandemic that's kind of like raging through the world, and that's really shifting things around, like shifting not just in perspective, but also shifting our way of lives in every way, if you will, right? In the material world, our way of life in the material world. But for those of us that are spiritual, that's why it's so important to remain grounded and to maintain our high vibe despite what's going on. We know we don't live just for this material world. Our life is rich in other dimensions. Our lives can be enriched by being able to tap on and to live and to enrich our spiritual life, right? That and spiritual aspect of our life. So it seems like there is a drastic change that may be happening between the summer winter here. Whatever coldness, whatever sense of lack and isolation and just rigidity, whatever it is here that was not easy to navigate during the winter season. I feel like comes summer, for some of us, things might start to shift around. Okay, it's almost like there is hope here. We are going through this season right now. We have to go through with the flow, Aries, especially in regards to your finances, to learn on how to use the resources available to you and to and your skill set and to adapt, okay, during this current moment, because things will not always be that way. Okay, things will not always be that way. There's a change coming, just like we just experienced. We transition through a different I want to say here, a different phase, okay, in our lives, all of us as a collective. I feel like at the same time there's another change on the other side. Once we've gone through this tough time here, I feel like summer will come again. The sun will come out again, okay? And here we have the Akashic Library. Look at this, number 2, Major Arcana number 2. And this is the Akashic Tarot here we are reading here. So understanding that you have access to the whole Akashic Library. Spirit is telling you with that Major Arcana, they're inviting you, Aries, to come and play, read and learn and explore the Akashic Library. That library that never disappears, whether you have Wi-Fi or not. That library that never closes its door. Okay, that library that you can just escape to. It's available to you at all times. Okay, whatever it is you're trying to achieve, you're trying to accomplish here, we have that. We always have that. Okay, and that's why it's so important to arm ourselves with us, with our own inner sense, our own inner connection, direct connection to the divine, okay, to source, because this will always be available to us regardless of what's going on in the 3D world, regardless of which season we are at. Okay, just know that your life is still enriched. Just know that your existence can still be, you can still shine your light. You have access to something far greater. You have access to infinite resources. You just have to tap into that Akashic Library, and it's showing up here in this Major Arcana number 2. It is your choice, right? Major Arcana number 2 in the regular tarot or in the Rider Waite is the High Priestess, right? The High Priestess is this has access to secret knowledge, right? She's a keeper of knowledge. She has that scroll tucked under her sleeve. Nobody can know what she knows. She may not even know what she knows, because the vastness of information, the vastness of knowledge, the vastness of knowing that's available to her is immeasurable, right? And it's the same thing it can be for you. And that's what Spirit is telling you. To have faith, to strengthen your faith, to remain in faith. Yes, it is your choice to do so, and you have access to everything that you desire. You have access to everything that you need, okay, in life. And that here in the physical realm, okay, with the forces here, we are going through certain transition. We're going through certain season, and yes, it may be tough. Just know, just like winter come, summer shall arrive as well, okay? It's gonna flip-flop. It depends on how you want to look at it. It's up to us to shift perspective, to take every opportunity to say, what can I do with this? And this reading is asking you, what do you need to know? What you need to know, Aries, is that you have everything at your disposal that you need spiritually, and that's the escape here. Okay, that's the escape route. That should be not even your backup plan. That should be your foreground plan. That should be your plan right now. And your backup plan, that's something that you can rely on every single day, no matter what, no matter where. Okay, and here we have at the bottom, look at this, 8 of Forces, like natural energy, lightning bolt. There's something that's coming here. I'm getting like tower energy with that 8 of Forces. This is a minor arcana but there's a lot of like forces, just like it says forces sometimes being behind above our control, beyond our control, I'm sorry, right? Lightning strike, this is like some an arrival, and it may be sudden, and we see rain here, right, in that lightning strike thing. So there's a sense here like there's a the need, this needs to happen, and no, you cannot control that. It may happen quite suddenly, and that lightning is striking, look at it, striking straight down the tree, and it seems like a tree that's been there for quite a while. And we know trees talk about tradition, trees talk about like a certain level of legacy. Trees also have memories, right? Like it's almost like they keep a certain level of record. It's almost like that lightning strike that's happening using the natural forces of the earth. It's almost, it needs to wipe out some things. It needs to clean out certain like old memories to make space for new ones almost, right? We see the rain here. It's almost like a cleansing, a transformation. This is number 8, major arcana, not major arcana. This is like 8 of forces. There's 8 talks about transformation, the house of Scorpio. There's a sense here like this needs to be struck out, old tradition, old ways of doing things that are not helping, that are not serving us, okay? This is a career reading. So in regards to career, that also would apply. All of us, we're gonna be faced with a different way of operating in this world, okay? In a different way of approaching money, career, of approaching finances. And oh yeah, Knight of Cups, there's a new thing happening here, okay? There's an offer, emotional offer, to be a little bit more sensitive about it. How much are we sharing? 6 is about balance, right? How much are we sharing? And that, look at this, it fall right there. In that Knight of Cups, like he's drinking his own cup, right? It's like supposed to be bringing that message to someone, that offer, if you will, and an emotional offer, an emotional appeal, but he's already drinking it, can't even make it there, doesn't want to share. So there's a sense here of like the forces of nature, the forces that be of the universe is gonna push us towards to look at us, ourselves. How do we manage our own resources? How do we share? Do we share? Do we play nice? Do we play fair? Right? How do we keep things balanced? How do we save for the rainy day, for when it's cold and everything is dead? Like, right? How do we maintain ourselves, our own principles when things are tough? Right? Do we maintain our sense of character, our own divinity when things are tough, or is it just when things are easy? These are the questions we are facing right now. You see, isolation, that's what I was talking about earlier. Yes, it may be cold right now. Some of you may be feeling like you're going through some tough time. Some of you also, Aries, I feel here with that, the way he's drinking that cup, you may be indulging quite a bit, okay? You may be allowing the stress and the sense of lack of support, the fear of a financial meltdown here to take you towards drinking. For some of you, you may be indulging a little bit too much, and spirit is asking you to shift your perspective from the physical, okay, to shift your perspective from the physical, because there's a shift. We're all being pushed and shifted around here, and that started since last year, y'all, okay? I can remember if it was around Cancer season when we have that eclipse. That's starting then. Virgo season was very intense last year when we had that Virgo new moon, and we are really being asked to pay attention to our daily life, to our routine. What do we do for a career? What do we do for a living? The things that we spend our time and resources in, are they in alignment with our higher self? Are they in alignment with our true purpose? Okay, and this has been a drum, a constant, like, dumb drum, is that the word, like since then, since last year, summer of last year, really, all the way to now, and here we are. So I'm going to take one more for you on the setting your course on the 3 of Scrolls, Aries, to see here, what is it you're looking towards? What are you looking towards, okay? And here we have the 9 of Cups. Look at this, gluttony in that 9 of Cups. This poor server is like, almost like his knees are buckling under the weight of that tray, and all he can see, he's using those cups behind him as trophies. He's not even paying attention to them. It's supposed to be the cups that bring you your satisfaction, your your happiness. It's almost like, you know, people would just accumulate wealth and just to sit on it. Okay, they're just sitting there just to feel their ego. I always see so much ego when I look at that Nine of Cups. I don't see wish fulfillment here. Yes, there's wish fulfillment. You get what you have, but how are you using that? How are you using that? Are you using it to be of service with others? Have you been sharing? Do you see that server was like all thin and like buckling under the weight, or you just want to consume? How much of this can you eat? And are you gonna eat until you make yourself sick and then fall down? There's a sense of overconsumption. Okay, there's a sense of overconsumption with that Nine of Cups. Let's see one more for the Three of Swords. So what I asked is like, what are you looking towards here? So there's a sense of like with that nine, it's a completion of overconsumption. It's a completion of gluttony. It's a sense of completion with that nine, of looking at letting this pass to look toward, I guess perhaps for some of you, a better way of doing things, to look towards the Six of Forces, towards a sense of balance. Okay, let's see here. One more on the Three of Swords for Aries. One more on the Three of Swords for Aries. One more on the Three of Swords for Aries. Okay, here we go. There you go. Five of Swords. Conflict, right? Empty victory. People are walking away. Drop their swords, walking away. There's a sense of empty victory here with that Five of Swords. There's a real sense of, it's not even ego. It's almost like a sense of mindless thinking, right? A sense of not having the care. Like even in victory, the way you win sometimes, it can take away from it, right? You may have a lot, you may have your wish fulfilled, but the way you are using those resources, it says a lot about you, right? It's almost kind of like a sense of empty victory. It's like that man who works hard, who spend all the time, working, accumulating wealth and money and whatnot, and they have no one to share it with, right? Like this man here, they can even sit and enjoy someone to enjoy this great big and delicious dinner with. So they're just sitting there like consuming. Like, how do you enjoy this? Like, there's a sense of empty victory here, in conflict as well. Okay, people are walking away here. It's almost like some people will just like, okay, I'm not gonna be putting up with this. There's no sense in fighting for this anymore. There's no sense in hoping for this anymore. There's no sense in wishing for this anymore. What is this? Like, what do I get out of this? And some people will just gonna be walking away from certain environment, walking away from certain situation, things that they thought were gonna bring fulfillment, things they thought that they wanted. Like, because the Nine of Cups is about wish fulfillment, things they thought that they wished for, that was gonna bring them certain fulfillment, and they're willing to walk away because they realize like that's just like creating some certain conflicts in their life, or that's not really making them happy. And some people are just gonna decide to like, okay, y'all can have this, I'm out, okay, and travel, going towards like balance, okay. But in the going here, I feel like for some of you, Aries, there's a transformation taking place right here in the 3D world. The forces here are really bringing it down right here, bringing things down right here, bringing things down to earth. It's almost like some of us were living had all these goals, setting your course, and there was a sense of not illusion, even delusion, but there was a sense of, there was so much ego at play. There was so much me, right? It's like, yay, I run. Look at me winning. Like, not seeing those people walking away is kind of like, okay, what kind of victory is that? What's cheering you on, right? And it's like, me, I have. You're like, and it's like kind of like a sense of needing to walk away from that. But the process of walking away, the process of cleaning this out, this energy out, it's one that's going to bring quite a bit of stress, strain, and also for some people, it's going to really, it's really going to bring you to a place where you may start falling back into bad habits. And I'm not saying by drinking it's a bad habit, but when you're over consuming, when you're on that horse, you cannot wait to get to where you're going to enjoy that cup, or you cannot wait to bring the cup to wherever you're supposed to bring it to. There's a sense here of like over consumption. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys are not even seeing this, the world card. There we go. right? So there's a sense of overconsumption here, okay? But spirit is telling you your richness, your wish fulfillment, it's your whatever it is that you need, it's gonna be available to you. And I'm gonna take one on this on the Akashic library for your Aries, one card on the Akashic library for Aries. Clarification on the Akashic library for Aries. Okay, I'm not going to take this whole pile really, there's too many cards, but I did see the Emperor that flipped up and then the other cards fell on it. So we're gonna keep shuffling, Aries. Let's see here. If it's supposed to come out, it will come out for you again. Let's see here. Clarification on the Akashic library for Aries. Oh, there we go. The Chariot. Yes, moving forward, okay? Moving forward. There's movement here. And for me, the Chariot is also a card of choice in the tarot. Black and white. There's two paths here to go. Which way are you going? Because movement has to happen. There's no standing back, okay? There's a sense of like, okay, we gotta go. We gotta go and go. Where you were, who you were, the work that you've done, the way you use money and finances, this can no longer be. There's movement that needs to happen, and that movement that's going to happen is being communicated to you, is being whispered in your ear, you're being guided, okay? You're getting access to information. For some of you, especially those of you that are stuck at home, you may be getting very creative during this time. You may be deciding after this, you know what, I don't want to go back to that job anymore because it really wasn't bringing me fulfillment to begin with. I've always wanted to work for myself. I've always wanted to focus on my craft, to focus on my creative endeavor. I'm going to do that. I never really cared to live here. I was staying here because of this job. I'm going to move away, okay? And you're going to really use your own inner knowing in order moving forward. This also was facing this reading for you, that transformation in regards to certain level of deceit, okay? And for a lot of us, it was self-deceit in thinking that we actually won here, self-deceit in thinking that victory was all there was, right? That wish fulfillment was all there was, that was doing it for us, that we were winning, that we had this in the bag, that we needed nothing else, right? Having things, over consuming and all of that. That was a sense of self-deceit here. And for some of us, that was what's facing us. And when I pull that, is the Wheel of Fortune that's underneath it. It's time. The time has come, okay? It's a matter of time, of karmic justice here. And it's a matter of like universe, the divine timing, if you will, okay? We don't have a choice but to go through that transition, just stark difference between winter and summer, and also to move, to allow that change to take place in our lives, okay? Our inner lives as well as our outer lives. And I'm not going to take that off the floor. Let's keep on shuffling here. This is Madame's and Dora's fortune cards. Let's close it out for you, Aries, with some advice as to what Aries need to know in regards to their finances. Whoa, okay. Okay, let's see. We have the Dragon, strength and wisdom. Oh, the strength of the dragon, the fire of the dragon, okay? Being able to renew, being able to show power here, okay? There's a sense of the dragon is a mystical creature, understanding that your strength and your wisdom is not just of this world, okay? It's not just, oh, I went to school. It's not just the things you learn in the university. It's really being able to tap into that spiritual aspect of yourself, okay, Aries, that mystical aspect of yourself. And this is beautiful. We have fire for you. All fire for Aries. All fire, go. We have reckless actions lead to conflict. Yes, okay, we saw that. That's the advice, to use your strength and wisdom to overcome this reckless action, okay? Reckless action lead to conflict, and you do have the fire within to overcome that with the dragon card, because we had that here. We had the reckless action. We had that we were focusing on our goals. We're focusing on what we want, and fattening ourselves up, not having a care about the people around us, okay? Not having a care about the people that are in need, not having a care that, okay, we have all this food that this person here probably have not eating, has been working all day, not having a care about a neighbor, the people that are less fortunate, right? And that made us feel a sense of victory, and empty victory, right? And yes, it created conflict, not just in our lives, even though we may not have recognized it, but because there was so much conflict happening around us, around the people around us, then living in spoiler, if you will. I believe that's the world, and that's the word, like not having enough and us having too much, or it could be vice versa. But that energy here, that reckless actions, by overtaking more. So that year needs to be overcome, and then I feel like spirit is gonna give you the strength, dragon strength and wisdom to overcome this energy. But there's a transition here that needs to take place. So this is your message, Aries, and I hope it brings you some clarity. And I will see you very soon. We're gonna try to do a hangout here on Sunday evening, Sunday night. I'll put a reminder on Sunday morning or tomorrow night about that. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Be safe out there, and be courteous to the people that are still going out, working, the registers, that are the hospitals that are still open, the teachers that are trying to do their best to help out, with home, with e-learning classes. Like, let's just be a little bit more, give ourselves, be patient with ourselves and also with each other as we go through this transition period. I'm sending you a lot of love and healing energy. I'll see you guys soon, and until then, reach out if you feel like you need to talk. If you guys want me to do hangout, if like coming lives, you guys know I do travel for a living quite a bit, and I have literally have not gone, since the last time you guys saw me my last recording where I was doing so at an hotel. And because I have a kid, and I have kids, or I'm around kids, family, around family, and I really do not want to expose myself, to put myself at risk where I would have to be quarantined, away from them. So do your best, and let's see. Let's keep raising our vibration, okay? And keep shining your light, okay? I'm sending you lots of love. Bye, guys. Thank you.